Hello, and welcome to the introductory notes for Sweatbox, a clean break and quiet storm production. It was written by Chloë Moss, directed by Herrmann and produced by Clancie Brennan. The audio description is by Nadine Beasley for Vocalize. Clean Break Theatre Company were founded in 1979 by two women in prison. For the last 42 years, they have been telling the stories of women who have been affected by the criminal justice system or are at risk of being criminalised. They create theatre with and by the members of their programme, alongside established theatre makers. Sweatbox is a short film adaptation of Chloë Moss's original play, commissioned by Clean Break in 2015. It tells the story of three women who have just arrived at the gates of HMP Bronzefield in a prison van, and how their lives are impacted by the criminal justice system. The themes in it are about substance misuse, motherhood, and trauma. The roles were reprised by the original cast, all members of Clean Break, working with an entirely female film crew. The action takes place in the interior of an unseen stationary prison van, where three women prisoners are locked into claustrophobic capsular steel cells, set one behind the other along the side of the van. Each has a hard bench on which they can sit, their shoulders almost brushing both sides of the cramped space. When standing, there is just enough space to turn around. The capsules are open at the top, and looking from above, you can see the heads of the women as they slump on their seats, peering out of small, square, reinforced windows, held in place by steel bolts. The door has two narrow, sealed windows, one at eye height and one below it near the floor. There are no handles, only small steel locks. Sunlight pierces the grubby panes, casting narrow shafts of light over half a face or a bare shoulder, dispelling for a few seconds the unrelenting gloom of the grey steel. Nina, the first prisoner we see, sits flicking her long, intricately patterned fingernails, immaculately painted, each nail a different colour, red, bright blue, and blue and white jewelled. Nina is a black woman in her early 40s, large glacier-like brown eyes, watchful in a heart-shaped face. Her black hair is close-cropped, showing hints of afro curls in the sunlight when she rests her head against the window. She wears a cream camisole vest under a loose grey cardigan. A large plaster covers a wound on her left forearm. As Nina sits contemplating her manicure, we hear Steph banging on the walls. Steph, in her 20s, is a slight white girl with pale, sharp features. Her long, greasy dark hair is pulled back into a high ponytail. Large gold hoops dangling from her ears catch the light as she moves restlessly around the tight space, leaning against the wall, or standing with her hands on either side of the cell as if she could prise it open. Dark eyes blaze, but her thin red gloss lips barely hold back a tremble as she speaks. A black halter-net bra is visible beneath a deep pink strappy top, and she wears pale grey leggings. The third prisoner is Rachel, a black woman in her 30s with shoulder-length tight black afro curls. Steph wears a khaki-coloured shirt over a black t-shirt and is constantly pulling at the neck of her clothes as she struggles to breathe, claustrophobic within the confines of the capsule. As she rocks, panting on her bench, she screws wrinkled eyelids tightly shut, her full lips pinched as she blows out the stale air. During the film, we often watch one woman whilst hearing another. On occasion, we are looking in on them all from above. As the heat rises and the claustrophobia intensifies, their narrow boxes seem to close around them. Sunshine bursts in as the doors open and a female prison officer comes to let them out. She is a white woman in her early 40s, long auburn hair scrunched in a low ponytail, with a straggly fringe covering her brow. She wears standard prison officer uniform of white short-sleeve shirt with black epaulets, black trousers, and heavy toe-cap shoes. If you are affected by any of the issues raised in the film, the following organisations may be able to provide help and advice: Samaritans at samaritans.org, Women in Prison, womeninprison.org.uk, Birth Companions, birthcompanions.org.uk, and Narcotics Anonymous, ukna.org. Words in white flash across a black background. Clean Break and Quiet Storm Productions present. Written by Chloë Moss. Directed by Herrmann. Produced by Clancie Brennan. Starring Funke Adeleke, Jade Small, and Posy Sterling. Sweatbox. Nina sits in her narrow cell staring at the fingers of her left hand, flicking her brightly coloured nail extensions. Her eyes widen when Steph bangs on the wall of the van. Steph.
Are we here?
Nina raises her head, turning to the window. Steph.
Hello?
Nina dips her head to look out. Steph.
Oi! Can we get out now or what?
Sunlight bathes a shoulder and half of Nina's face as she stares out.
Is anyone listening to me? Where the fuck are we anyway?
Nina turns back to her nails, looks up with a faint smile.
HMP Bronzefield. They do this. Stop the van outside the gates and leave you sat there like battery hens. It's about setting the tone, letting you know who's boss.
In her tiny capsule, Rachel rocks on her bench, eyes shut, brow furrowed, pursed lips panting. Steph half rises, hammering the door and falling back onto her bench. Steph.
Come on! Let us out! 2 fucking hours been cooped up in here! I need a piss!
She slumps, biting her lip. Nina clicks a jewelled nail. Nina.
I had an aunt used to live round here. Bible basher. Had this huge cross on the wall in the living room. Jesus with a crown of thorns on his head and blood down his face. Had to renounce Satan every time I stepped through the front door.
Rachel.
Jesus Christ. We're not animals!
Steph sits, tensely hunched as she catches her breath.
I had a mate. Lived right by Holloway, and Dad was a butcher. He used to throw pig's guts at the vans when they were going in.
Nina.
I ain't got a problem with religion. It just ain't my thing.
Rachel pants.
Lots of people tend to inside it's either that or crack. People say to me, drugs ain't gonna solve your problems. And I can't argue with that. But I'll tell you something. God ain't been a whole lot of fucking use either. When I look at my face and I stare in the mirror, I know that I'm enough.
Rachel pulls at the neck of her shirt.
Stare at my face, I know that I'm enough.
Rachel.
Can anyone hear me?
Steph leans on the cell wall,
I need
sweating.
some help here.
Yeah, we all need help, love.
Rachel.
I think I'm having a panic attack. I want to get out!
Yeah, we all want to get out!
Steph grits her teeth as she pushes against the walls. Takes slow, deliberate breaths. Nina sings. Rachel leans against her wall, trying to catch her breath. Nina smiles quietly as her song ends. Steph heaves a breath.
Need to learn how to cope. Think it's bad now? Wait till you get inside. I'll spot you a mile off. You need to learn how to cope. Just keep your head down. Keep yourself to yourself. Don't trust anyone. They give you all this chat, yeah? About being your friend. That's all it is, just chat. Turn you back for 5 minutes, they'll fuck you over. Don't tell them anything about yourself.
Rachel.
I've got a little boy.
Don't talk about your kids.
Jake. He's only 3. He loves dinosaurs. He points them all out in this book that he's got. He knows all the names. Brachiosaurus, Ankylosaurus, Dimetrodon. 3 years of age. Chatterbox. He gets that from me. I can't breathe. I can't fucking breathe. Oh, God.
First time I was in one of these, I stood up and turned round in little circles. Help to the panic. Threw up on myself in the end.
I need a fucking piss!
First time I was in one of these, I had the agony so bad, I thought I was gonna rip the doors off. Started headbutting the wall. They give me a paracetamol. They're fucking obsessed with paracetamol, this lot.
Steph peers out of her window.
There they are.
Look at them, they're out there sitting on the grass. Hey! Oh, you pricks, let us out! Look at them, they are taking the piss.
Nina slowly nods her head, squinting in the shaft of sunlight. Rachel.
What's it like? Please, will somebody talk to me?
Nina studies her nails. Steph.
What's what like?
Prison.
Butlins, you'll fucking love it.
I wasn't expecting. My barrister said community service.
Of course it did.
He said there was nothing to worry about.
Nina and Steph smile.
First offence? I got 6 months.
Steph.
18 months.
Nina.
4 years.
Nina picks at a plaster on her forearm.
All depends what side of the bed the old man in the wig likes to get out. I heard about one judge. He hadn't eaten since breakfast, so he sent someone down for 2 years for nicking a jumbo pack of biros.
I dropped him at nursery. I said I'll be back later. Oh, God. I haven't even got anything with me. I didn't even bring a bag. 2 nights, that's the most I've ever spent away from him. What do I tell him?
Nina drags off her cardigan, sweat forming on her brow. Steph.
Cruise ship or holiday camp. My daddy worked on about 10 cruise ships when I was a kid. I used to show off in school. Told everyone he was the captain. Wondered where his uniform was, but didn't ask.
Nina.
You do what you gotta do. Mine are older now. They can handle it. Nobody ever died of the truth, that's what I say.
2 nights. And that was only because I was in hospital.
I need a fucking piss!
The guards outside.
Come on! Fuck are they doing?
Flirting. He's a bit desperate. Proper belly laughs at everything she says. No one's that funny. My ex used to laugh like that right before he had one of his episodes.
I'm gonna faint.
There's no room to fall anywhere. Don't worry.
I want my baby. Oh,
Rachel presses her hands to her face.
6 months.
Found out the same day I got arrested.
Steph curves her hand over her swollen, pregnant belly.
Couldn't believe it at first. Didn't think I could.
Steph twists and turns in her tiny space. Nina scratches around the edge of her plaster.
While the world is ablaze and I look at my face, I know that I'm enough.
You fucking singing!
Shut the fuck up yourself! You want to be glad we're both locked up, bitch.
Steph freezes, her eyes watering.
I'm scared. About the birth. I'm not good with pain.
Her face softens as she looks down at her distended stomach. Nina.
Cramps are the worst.
Nina sags onto her bench.
Getting off the gear. And then you start to throw up. Last for days, feel like you're gonna die, but then you get through it and then you think that's it. That is it. Never again. But what are you left with? All that reality.
And afterwards, what happens then?
It's starting now. Getting the sweat. Feeling it.
Fucking let me out!
I've got a little boy.
Don't talk about your kids.
Everyone's got kids. You ain't special.
I told him I'd keep us together.
Trying to keep it together.
I can't hold it in!
Trying to hold it in.
He's 3. Oh, God.
4, 5, 6, 7.
Breathe. I can't breathe.
Blackness flashes on and off.
I can't hold it in! I can't hold it in!
Crying, Steph looks down at a growing dark patch on the inside of her leggings. Sweat pours down Nina's face. Rachel rocks rhythmically back and forth. Sunshine glares as the door opens and steel steps are dropped down. Toe-cap boots climb up. Steph's pale face peers through a narrow window.
Sorry about that, ladies. Staff are back now. We can get you in.
Handcuffs are clipped around wrists. Nina. Rachel. And Steph. One by one, the cell doors are opened and the 3 prisoners line up in the centre of the van. The guard looks down at Steph's wet leggings and sneers.
Oh, lovely.
Steph looks across at the other 2 who look away. Darkness. Women make up 5% of the prison population in England and Wales. 82% are sentenced for a non-violent offence like shoplifting. 77% serve sentences of less than 12 months. More than 17,240 children are separated from their mothers by imprisonment each year. Imprisonment of women is rarely a necessary, appropriate or proportionate response. Investing in alternatives to prison, including women's centres and community support, are vital.
When I look in my face as I stare in the mirror, I know that I'm in love. While the world is ablaze, I see me
Nina,
in the mirror.
Funke Adeleke, Rachel, Jade Small, Steph, Posy Sterling, the prison officer, Sarah Jane Dent.
Because it's love I represent. It's enough for me to be. This I know, that's why I'm free. When I look in my face as I stare in the mirror, I know that I'm enough. While the world is ablaze, I see me in the mirror. Yes, I know that I'm enough.
The song I'm Enough was sung by Funke Adeleke. It was written and played by J.B. Rose and engineered and produced by D. Gale. The audio description is by Nadine Beasley for Vocalize.